Hey guys, welcome to the Bird Brothers episode 3. Ryan and I are going to be breaking down the Philadelphia Eagles schedule, the 2022 schedule, and we're going to make our predictions. We're going to go back and forth, starting with Detroit. Ryan will say what he thinks, I'll say what I think, and I'm going to be taking some notes, kind of totaling up our wins and losses, of course, projected, and we'll see how this goes. If you've never seen this show, it's likely you haven't if you're watching this. We just got started. This is our 3rd episode. We are 2 brothers living in Ohio, lifelong Eagles fans, and we figured we're going to come on here once a week and talk some Eagles football. So let's get started, Ryan. Break down the schedules. You can go first, starting with week 1. At the very tough Detroit Lions.
Yeah. So I do think if you look at last season for the Lions, they did have a lot of games where they played very well. They seem to be, what Campbell wants, and like a grinded out football team. So I do think they're better than what we think. We're just used to seeing the Lions, at the bottom of the barrel usually, but I'm going to chalk that down as a win. I think we're just going to kind of beat them with talent. Week 1's usually strange for everyone too. So you just come out with a solid game plan. No one really knows what they have, game speed and everything. So I think we come out with a solid game plan. We should be able to beat a team like that, but I wouldn't sleep on them.
Yeah. That's one thing I don't really make the mistake of doing as a football fan is I don't sleep on people. I think my first season watching was McNabb's 2nd year, early on in the Andy Reid days, maybe McNabb's rookie year. But man, it is true. Any given Sunday, I mean, you can lose to anybody. They're all professionals. They're winning, like, this is a phrase I've heard recently from Birds 365, winning the margins, like winning in these little margins. That's kind of how football is. They say it's a game of inches.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, there's been times where, guys, we lost to the Giants last year.
Yeah.
Did we lose one to Washington last year? I feel like we split with Washington and New York last year.
Yeah, I think we split with both. I'd have to double check, but I think off the top of my head, I think we split with both. But
so, I mean, the Giants are terrible.
Yeah.
They had a top five pick, and they're not good.
Yeah.
And we lost.
Yeah.
And so I remember when I was like a freshman in college, watching the Browns. The Browns were terrible, and we tied the Browns. We went into triple overtime and tied the Browns or something. That was when they made fun of McNabb for he didn't know they could tie or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So that being said, that's my long-winded answer. I think we'll beat the Lions. But the things like kind of what you said, Ryan, I mean, week 1 is kind of funny. Everybody thinks they're good. Week 1, everyone's got hopes and aspirations.
Yeah.
And the defense is always a little bit more up to speed than the offense. The offensive, the passing game especially is takes time to get into sync and to get into rhythm. And if we come out trying to throw the ball, what the Lions are going to do. They're not coming out trying to throw the ball.
No.
Not if it's Campbell's identity. They're going to come out running the ball, blocking, aggressive. And if we come out trying to spread the ball around, I could see us losing.
Yeah.
I think we'll win, but that being in this league, I wouldn't be surprised and especially kind of with the Eagles, like I'd be frustrated, but I wouldn't be shocked if we dropped one to the Lions.
Right.
I just don't. Hopefully not. Hopefully we start with some wins and we can, be competing for that first round bye and the number 1, number 2 seed in the playoffs. But all right, I will say we will beat the Lions. in week 1 at Detroit. It's also on the road. So we will say that's a W for me. It's a W for you. All right, let's move on to week number 2, September 19th. In the link, the Minnesota Vikings come to town. Kirk Cousins, who we mentioned in our last episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like us we talked about last week, we both like Kirk Cousins, very consistent. I still don't think I think being in Philly week 2, we got, kind of get your bearings, kind of figure out what you're doing, not fully, but you start to get an idea. I think I'll put that down as a W as well. I don't think their defense is going to have anything for us. And, with the addition of Bradbury and Slay and, Avonte Maddox in the slot where he needs to be, I think we'll be okay. Justin Jefferson's going to get his regardless. They're gonna pass the ball on us. Cook is going to run on us a little bit, but I think we'll be fine against the run. But I think we just kind of limit Justin Jefferson's big plays and just do the simple things. We'll be fine on that.
I agree. And that's something we haven't really talked about. Maybe we can talk about it for a moment, but this is a great game for us to see just how good our secondary can be.
Right.
They've got Adam Thielen. They've got Justin Jefferson. They've got Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins. Say what you want about his clutch or his ability to win the big game or et cetera, but every single year he throws for 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. And so you're doing it at the highest level. He can throw the ball.
Yeah.
And they do have a new head coach. So, I mean, this is on Monday Night Football. Again, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we dropped it, if we lost this one. I wouldn't really be surprised if we lost any of them. Just because that's the NFL.
Well, but one game I always think about, sorry to cut you off, but one game I always think about is that last year, the Colts. Colts needed to beat the Jaguars, who were awful. They were like, okay, all you have to do is come out and beat the horrible Jaguars and you're in the playoffs. And I mean, you could tell they wanted to win. They're out there, trying, like you can see them on the sidelines, like getting frustrated, and they just couldn't do it. So that just goes to show that in the most important game of the year for them, they couldn't pull it off against the worst team in the league. So, arguably.
Yeah, I mean, it only takes a little mistake, a bob, and it's early into the year, and these days we're hardly practicing. The Eagles, I think we got, I don't know how many practices we got. I think they had 14 mini camp practices or something, and we didn't even use them all.
Yeah.
We chose not to use the time we could have used for injuries and stuff. And, that's fine, whatever. Off season is off season. But when training camp starts, with kind of the way this team's trending more towards health, the whole league is trending more toward player safety, less time on the practice field to prevent injuries. We don't do kickoffs the way we used to do kickoffs because injuries. I say all that because you don't got a lot of time on the field. So we run the read option. There's a bobbled snap.
Right.
We snap the ball over our head. That's unlikely with Kelsey, but you don't secure the ball. First play of the game, first quarter, slant route. You don't secure the ball. They knock it out. They get some easy points. So obviously, if you're a football fan, you understand like what I'm saying, but just in the beginning of the year, it's very hard to predict wins and losses because we really don't know. Are the Minnesota Vikings, did they get a great head coach?
Right.
Is he a great head coach? Like, is he going to be a top 5, top 10 head coach? We don't know. We don't know yet. When we got Doug Peterson, nobody knew how good Doug was going to be. Nobody knew. We got criticized for hiring. Nobody knew he was going to win a Super Bowl.
Right.
So they're a wild card because they have some skilled players and a new coach, and you just don't know what direction that new coach is going to take them. For our sake, hopefully they're not on track yet, and we're able to pull out a win. I will say that we will win that game, even though Kirk Cousins has always given us trouble, even when he was with Washington. I think the last time we played them that I recall, we might have played them since, but I recall the last time we were on the road in Minnesota with Wentz. Miles Sanders had some nice catches out of the backfield. Russell Douglas got smoked down the sideline deep. Sidney Jones was our other coordinator. We were getting eaten for lunch. We couldn't stop anything in the pass game. So this will be a great game to see how we use Bradbury and, of course, Slay, Maddox. That they're going to get an early test. And you mentioned something, man. Like, I really think we're going to be very stout against the run.
Yeah.
Jordan Davis will be on their early downs. Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, Nicole Dean. We should be very good against the run.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, we'll have an issue with the run.
And then you look at our secondary, it's like, of course, this is all on paper, but Bradbury, Slay, Maddox, you could argue the safeties aren't super strong or they're inexperienced. So it'll be interesting. We'll see. Yep. I'll say we'll win that game. Okay. So week 3, I know a lot of people predict us to maybe drop this game. Week 3 at Washington, the Washington Commanders. What do you have, Ryan? Win or loss?
I'm gonna go win. I don't have a lot of confidence, and I don't think they know their identity. Honestly, and we've talked about it before, we're both big fans of Wentz, what he did. Don't know what happened, whether it was mental, just too many physical injuries, whatever. I think they might have a better shot at throwing in a guy like Heineke. Like, he's kind of just a gunslinger. He can win you some games. I don't know that he's going to be, an all-time great or win you a Super Bowl or anything, but the team seemed really motivated behind him. Anytime he came in, I enjoyed watching him play. He's just kind of a spark plug. But, who knows, man? Maybe we'll see Wentz come back this year and look like the old Wentz. But I have my doubts against that. And we know their defense is good, but our offensive line is pretty good. So, yeah, I'll put that down as a win. I do think it'll be close. It'll be interesting to see, the whole Wentz reunion and all that stuff. But I'll put it down as a win.
Yeah, Washington in division games are always tough.
Yeah.
Like I said, we dropped one to the Giants last year. I think we dropped one to Washington. Dallas has kicked our butts for – when's the last time we beat Dallas? Been a couple of years.
I thought not last year, but the year before, I think, did we split with them 2 years ago?
With Carson and Jalen?
I thought we split with maybe not. It could have been 2 years ago.
We might have, but I don't remember the last time we beat them. I know we took an absolute beating with Wentz, versus them, and so division games are always tough. It's on the road. I think we'll win. But I just don't want to I just don't want to come at the end of this. Oh, we're undefeated. We've got to lose some of them.
I do think, overall, looking at the whole schedule, I think we have a very easy schedule. I think we're going to have close games. I think week 1 will be closer than we think, and I think week 3 will be closer. But no, I got a couple losses in here. But I tried to be as unbiased as possible, try to think as not an Eagles fan, just a football fan, but it's obviously hard to do that. But I think we're going to have a good year, man. I think as long as we don't come out and try to do too much and just stick to our identity, use our strengths, we'll be fine. I think we're going to be a tough team to beat.
I think we'll be tough too. And that's what I hope to see is I hope we can develop an identity early and stick to it.
Yeah.
And don't try to develop an identity that your talent doesn't really suit.
Right.
You know, like, we hope Jalen Hurts develops as a passer, but last I saw, he's a much, much, much better athlete and runner than a passer.
Yeah.
We want him to pass well, but I just wonder if they're going to come out early in the year and have to take some lumps and some lessons. And like we did last year, trying to pass the ball with Hurts, trying to look like the greatest show on turf. And then,
Right.
oh, well, we dropped one in Detroit. And oh, man, now we dropped. You know, like, imagine, Ryan, what if we start out 0-2?
Yeah.
All this optimism, but it just seems like I'm so used to the Eagles being behind the 8 ball and then playing better down the stretch. So, and by the way, I mean, when you get to the playoffs and stuff, man, it's really about who's playing good football at the time.
Yeah.
You know? Momentum, and like, we're going to play them in week 5, the Arizona Cardinals. They start great.
Yeah.
But they don't finish great so far. So at Washington, I will say we're going to lose that game. Just to try to be kind of balanced, I think Wentz will be amped up. I think Wentz played pretty well last year, minus the end of the year.
Yeah.
He's super talented. I don't know what his problem has been, if it's lack of focus or distraction or what, but this is probably his last shot as a starting quarterback. I am a fan of Ron Rivera, and if anything's going to get Wentz focused, it's going to be playing the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
You know, so it's on the road in Washington. They are a very good team. They've basically just been missing the quarterback. If you look at Wentz's numbers, they're not terrible last year. So his last year with us was absolutely horrendous, but every other year has been pretty acceptable, you know?
Yeah.
And one of them was an MVP caliber year. So I doubt he's going to get back to the MVP level, but can he outperform Jalen Hurts as a passer? I don't know. Wentz needs to stop turning the ball over. If he can do that, they're going to be very tough to beat. So I'm going to say we lose that one on the road in Washington. And I see you're about 10 minutes in, and we just finished our 3rd game. So we'll pick up the pace. Week 4, at the Link, Doug Peterson comes back with Trevor Lawrence. What do you think's the outcome?
I'm gonna keep rolling with the W's, man. I just don't think they're a very good football team yet. I think they have a lot of good pieces. Trevor Lawrence is obviously, very talented. They have a lot of I don't know what word to use for them, but they're receivers. They got a lot of talent receiver. A lot of just kind of I'm not going to call them Pro Bowl talent, but they got a lot of talent receivers. So it's going to be interesting to see Slay. Hopefully Slay still is at a high level. He's getting a little older. Can he consistently run with some of these young guys? I hope. But yeah, I just don't think they have enough. Unless, as long as we don't beat ourselves, we'll beat a team like this, which again is the huge, $1 million question, or what are we going to do? But if we don't beat ourselves, we'll beat the Jaguars. I don't think they have a lot for anyone. I think last year they were just playing on pride on that game against the Colts, and the Colts couldn't seem to do anything right. So I'll keep rolling. Put that in W for that week.
Yeah, I think they're just too far away to compete with
Yeah.
us right now. I like Trevor Lawrence a lot. I like Doug Peterson a lot. I was not a fan when we fired Doug Peterson. I was not a fan of that decision. Thought it was too quick. Um, Another topic, maybe we do a whole show on that, on the whole firing of Doug and as leadership, as Jeffrey Lurie, like, could you not help Doug to see his shortcomings? Could you not help
Right.
to change Doug or help him to adjust some things that you thought were holding him back? Like maybe he wanted to do too many internal promotions, whatever it may be. Um, could you not work with that? Because he won a Super Bowl.
Right. First ever.
Yeah, with his backup quarterback and a backup left tackle, and he kept the guys. The big thing with that, this, like I said, we'll do a whole nother show on this, but the big thing with that, man, is you got a whole locker room full of men. You're the number one seed in the NFC, quarterback playing at MVP level, a lot's going on, and the dude tears his knee apart. You lose Jason Peters, you lose Carson Wentz. I remember thinking, like, man, I'm still hopeful, but that's shitty luck.
Yeah.
Like every year we watch the Eagles, this is our year. We have a real shot. It's very hard to win the Super Bowl, and you lose these two pieces. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't real great. And he kept the whole locker room believing. So we can do a whole show on that. But I will give us the win in Jacksonville, or at the link against Jacksonville. It will be cool to have Doug Peterson back. I expect that he'll be praised when he comes back. Do
Yeah.
you think there'll be booing of Doug?
I wouldn't think. But it is Philly. So I mean they booed Santa Claus. So
Think they'll boo Wentz?
I would say they'll probably boo Wentz more than they'll boo Peterson.
Maybe that'll be our thumbnail. Wentz and boo.
Yeah. I mean, I hope they don't boo either, because without Wentz, we don't win a Super Bowl. Without Doug, we don't win a Super Bowl. So hopefully they don't, but it is Philly, like I said. So we'll see. I won't be partaking in the booing.
Yeah. For me, well, do you normally boo from your living room, Ryan?
Absolutely. Yeah. I
uh,
believe they hear me if I yell loud enough. So even all the way from Ohio.
and if they can't hear you yelling, maybe the remote hitting the TV or
Yeah, that usually gets it.
yeah. So I think we're gonna boo Carson Wentz hard. Now the first game's in Washington, but I don't know. Will there be like 40% Eagles fans there, 50%? I
Right.
don't know what the split will be, but I think Wentz is going to get booed. If he's still on the field week 10 when he comes to Philly, I think Wentz is going to get booed.
Yeah.
Because I think he's been kind of a head case, and it wasn't just. I mean, his last year with us was horrible.
Yeah.
Now then he went to Indianapolis with Frank Reich. They let him go. He didn't play bad. He had a bad stint at the end. So like, what's going on with him? It's something that, we don't get to see as fans, I think, but Wentz is getting booed, and I think Doug is going to get praised.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with both. I just don't know any acceptable reasoning for how Wentz played his last year, man. He was horrible. I mean, I don't know how you can say you were locked in and focused and doing all the same stuff and you play like that. So week 4, a W versus Jacksonville. Let's move on, Ryan, to week 5 in Arizona. Eagles are at the Cardinals. Who wins that game?
That's gonna be our first loss for me. And I think we'll play them well. I think but I think our strength on defense, hopefully our, pass coverage is takes a leap forward. It was good. It wasn't bad. But we've been known to be, great against the run. So I don't think they're going to run the ball on us well, but I think we'll have trouble with Kyler Murray, getting out of the pocket, extending plays, and They just obviously have a ton of talent. So I think we'll struggle with them a little bit. I think it'll still be a fairly close game, but I think we'll end up losing that game in Arizona, just not being able to slow Kyler down.
Yeah, this one's kind of a tough one. I could see it going either way, like most of these games. DeAndre Hopkins, healthy, expected to play, all that stuff.
I believe so, yeah.
So you notice like last year when they lost DeAndre Hopkins, they really took a big step back, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
They lost Christian Kirk. I don't know how big of a loss that really is. They've got Rondale Moore. They've got a bunch of guys. They still have AJ Green. Did they sign somebody else? Another veteran wide receiver?
I feel like I know they have another guy because AJ Green now is gone, I believe. If he isn't, I don't think he's gonna. I think Rondale Moore is kind of gonna step into that. I think you'll see a lot more Rondale Moore this year. Obviously they got Ertz. Yeah, I don't know. I think we'll have a lot of trouble. I'll have to look for sure. As the season gets closer, like I start to dive into all the other, things around the league. But usually in the off season, I'm just heavy into, Eagle stuff, the draft. We'll watch but as the season gets closer, we'll dive into other stuff. But I can't say for certain their exact depth chart, but I do think Rondale Moore will be, used a lot more this year than saw him some last year, but not as much as I think they should have. And I think they probably realized that, like, he's obviously an asset.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Arizona. I will say that I'll give them the win. Very convincing. Very convincing about that one. I'll give them the win. I think the big thing for me is I think our defense is going to be pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I think teams are going to really struggle to run the ball, and they're going to have to become more one-dimensional. Now, if we play like we did last year with those soft zones, David Carr completed like 80% of his passes.
Derek.
I mixed David and Derek.
David's the analyst who wasn't so great.
Yeah, I watched which one's the analyst?
David. Yeah.
I watched him his first start ever when the Houston Texans were an expansion team. They played against the Cowboys in prime time, and they were talking about how strong his arm was, and they had like Jabbar Gaffney and I think Tony Baselli was his name, left tackle.
Yeah.
But I'll say we'll beat Arizona. I think our defense is going to be pretty good. If Jalen can progress as a passer, dude, like,
we're
gonna be tough to beat. But I see the Eagles, like, I don't know if I don't watch any other team this close, obviously, but I see the Eagles. It seems like they beat themselves more.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't beat themselves more than other teams, but as a fan, I see them make a lot of mistakes that just really they beat themselves.
Yeah.
So hopefully we don't see that this year. Okay, so that's week 5. You said lose to the Cardinals. I said win. Week 6, Dallas at Philly.
Yeah. Dallas is obviously, we hate Dallas, but they're also very talented. We know they're loaded, offense and defense.
Did lose Amari Cooper.
Yeah. Man.
CD Lamb, Michael Gallup.
Yeah. Um,
Zeke?
I'm gonna go. No, I think Zeke's irrelevant at this point,
I do too.
but I'm gonna go win. Simply just home field advantage. I think that game every single time now. I think we're at the caliber now where we can compete with them consistently. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball on us. I don't think anyone's going to be able to run the ball on us. I guess I don't need to say that every week on every team, but just week 1 through.
Say it.
Yeah, no one's going to be able to run against us. So, yeah, I think losing Cooper. I do think Gallup's legitimate number 2. But I think we'll do fine. I think defensively, I think they're still going to struggle. Dallas, I don't think they're as good defensively as everyone thinks. And I don't think Trevon Diggs is the next Champ Bailey, as everyone thinks. But yeah, I think we'll beat them. It's in Philly. I think it's going to be, an emotional game. I think we'll do fine there. So I'm going to put us down for a W.
I hope to God you're right. I'm going to say loss just because, again, I don't want to go through this and say we're going to be 17-0.
Yeah.
Here's the thought process real quick. Dallas has a better quarterback.
Yeah.
That's it. Now, if Jalen Hurts can elevate to that type of level, if he can, really step forward as a passer, we're going to be very, very, very good. We made it to the playoffs last year with like one wide receiver.
Yeah.
And a running offense. This will be an interesting game, like all of them are, but especially all the games versus Dallas. But I think I'm going to say that my thinking is that they've got the better quarterback and they've been kicking our butts. It's not like we've been competing with them. We've been close. They've been murdering us.
Yeah.
Like last year swept us. Year before they kicked our butt with Carson as quarterback. And then the end of the year, they kicked our butts again because we didn't remember last year. Oh, this was last year. They beat us because that was like week 17 or something. We didn't even need the game. We were playing backups.
Yeah.
They beat us really bad. But I remember them whooping us when it really counted. And until we can beat them, that's a hurdle that we've not been able to get over recently.
Yeah.
The Cowboys. So obviously I hope, as an Eagles fan, I hope we do, but just because of the quarterback play and how it's gone in recent history, I'm not going to say we're going to beat them. We are at home. I hope we do beat them, but I'm going to mark down a loss. Week 7, bye week. How do you think that week will go, Ryan?
Pretty well. Hopefully we're healthy. I like that it's, as close as you can get to as close as we can get to the middle of the year. I'm glad we don't have it at the end of the year or I like it to be right in the middle, try to get a rest weekend. But yeah, hopefully we're healthy for the most part by then.
Okay, week 8, the Steelers come to Philadelphia.
That's a W. Same reason for you and the Cowboys. I don't think they have quarterback play. We got Trubisky. I don't have confidence in Trubisky to come out and their main strength is going to be the run with Najee Harris. And
do you think Trubisky will start, or do you think Kenny Pickett will start?
I think Trubisky will start. I mean, it is week 8, so maybe if Trubisky's not up to par, maybe Trubisky or Pickett's in by then. But I think Trubisky will
start.
What's that?
I think Pickett will be the day 1 starter.
Think so? I mean, it's possible. I think they strike me as a team to just kind of roll with a veteran, a guy who's got a little experience. Because they have a good running game, they can lean on Harris. But that could be another, maybe they look at it the opposite. They have Pickett in there and they can lean on the run to help Pickett out. Me personally, I'm throwing Pickett in day 1 if it's my decision. I like Pickett a lot. But, we'll see. I think does help. They have an okay offensive line. Give Harris the ball, but I think Trubisky. I don't know. I mean, it is week 8, and I have zero faith in Trubisky. So I mean, maybe by week 8, Pickett takes over. But either way, I think it's a W. I don't think either of them is gonna, come out and sling the ball on us.
I think the same. It's a W either way, but they are tough.
Yeah.
But I think that's a team we match up well against.
Yeah.
Personally, because what they're good at, I think we're going to be good at stopping the run. Have we said that yet?
Yeah, I think we've covered it.
And, we can run. We can run the football, which, by side note, I hope we do. I hope we're still a great running team. And I hope we do that first. But I'm not at all confident that I think we're going to try to pass the ball first.
Yeah.
I think we'll be a better team if we run the ball first.
Yeah.
It comes more natural to us and our personnel. All right. So that's a W. Week 9, Houston Texans.
That's a tough one. No, I think they're an awful organization right now.
Somebody ranked Davis Mills ahead of Jalen Hurts on a quarterback ranking.
No, I don't know who would do that, but I mean, who knows? Maybe Davis Mills will come out, but with you have nothing to go off of, really. Jalen Hurts hasn't been great, but he's been okay.
That's the thing, dude. Like, he hasn't been great, but his first year as a starter, they went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
He ran for 700 some yards. He counted for 26 touchdowns.
I think it's just a matter.
That won 4 games.
Yeah.
How many games did we win the year before? 5, 6? I don't remember how many games we won.
Yeah.
We had a terrible year. And so I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is the man. He's great, but what more do you want from him? His first year as a starter.
When we knew he couldn't pass, we knew he wasn't going to come out and sling it. Like, it's not, I don't know. I don't want to beat around the bush and be like, he's pretty, like, we knew he couldn't throw. Like, he's better than us, but he's not like, you wouldn't consider him, you don't draft him being like, oh, this guy's a gunslinger. He's going to throw, 4,000 yards his rookie year. Like, we knew that wasn't going to happen. So he did what we thought he could do. And he relied on his legs and getting out of the pocket. Did it too much at times. But at the end of the day, we made the playoffs and, we won enough games to get in. And you just want a ticket to the dance. That's all we want, So whether he does it running or throwing, it doesn't matter to me. I prefer him to be passing. But if we get in the playoffs, so I don't have Davis Mills on my rankings above Jalen Hurts, but who knows? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Mills was a 5-star guy out of high school.
A lot of people are.
Yeah, he was a big-time recruit, big talent.
Yeah.
Probably a better thrower of the football.
I do weigh in. Like, I do like the idea of, going and getting someone who maybe had, a troubled past or injury history, who was a 5-star, top 5 recruit. I like all that stuff, but I don't know. It just Josh Sweat. But a lot of times, these 5-stars guys don't pan out, whether it's too much, media attention in high school or, whatever the case may be. So I don't pay in or buy into all that stuff as much as other people. But I'm not saying anything against Davis Mills. I think he'll be an okay player. He could be, who knows? He could be great this year. I don't know, but it's hard to be great on the Texans. They remind me of the Browns years ago. Like, bad organization, don't know how to draft, don't know what to do with your assets. So we'll see. That's an easy one for me. I think that's the easiest one so far.
Me too. I said it's a W. Week 10 in Philly, the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that Carson will probably be out by then.
Has he been healthy 2 or 3 consecutive years?
I don't know if I'd use the term. I think he missed a few games last year. But I don't think it was anything like serious. I think it was just knick-knack stuff. I could be wrong, but I feel like I remember him being injured. But I think probably by week 10 he might be out. And like I said, I'm kind of rooting for him, even though he's on a division team. I'd like to see him be successful, just not against us. But I would say probably by week 10 he'll be out, whether it's injury or just performance based. So I'm gonna put us down.
It's gonna be really interesting to see him play us twice a year.
Yeah.
If he's on the field, like you said. I'm gonna assume he's healthy because I think he's been doing a better job of staying healthy.
Yeah.
I have to look, but I'll say that's a win for us. Week 11, Eagles at the Colts. Matt Ryan is the new leader of the Colts. What do you have?
I was down at a loss there. I think Matt Ryan's legit. I think he hasn't gotten enough credit. For what he's had, he lost Julio. He had, and everyone talked about, we had Kyle Pitts. And yeah, he had a young Kyle Pitts who really, we know he's a freak athlete, but we don't really know what he has. There's some people speculate he might be better as a receiver. Just line him up outside and let him go to work rather than as a tight end position. I saw a lot of flash plays last year from him. Super talented. I saw him go up above a lot of people and get some balls that he shouldn't have caught. But I like Matt Ryan a lot. I think putting him on, he's a more consistent. He's not Carson Wentz at his peak. I don't think, when Carson Wentz was just, doing everything right, that Super Bowl run, but I think he's just under that consistently. So I think they have a lot of talent. They have a good defense, good offensive line, great running back. I think it's going to be a real, real tough game. So I'm going to have us down for a loss there. I just don't think we're going to be able to compete in the passing game. I think if we get behind, we're going to rely on Jalen a little too much passing because we have to, and I don't think it'll work out for us.
Great point. I will say a loss as well because as of right now, I have the Eagles at 7-2, and then we're going to drop one to Indianapolis on the road. They're a very well-rounded team. They're on the road. They're well coached. They have the better quarterback. They're a playoff caliber team who just upgraded at quarterback.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say loss. Week 12, Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers come to Philly.
Yeah. See, I think the Packers will beat us here. Even without, the Devontae Adams. He's just a gamer. He's a, savvy veteran. I think no matter who's out there, he's gonna throw it to him. Aaron Jones.
Bad.
What's that?
I'm just saying, the Packers aren't gonna be bad.
No, you can't. Yeah. I think we'll struggle a little bit with them. I think it'll be a really close game, but yeah, I think it'll come down to probably one possession. But I'm going to put us down for a loss, unfortunately, just because it is Aaron Rodgers in Philly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even with it being in Philly, I think it's still going to be. He'll find the next Devontae Adams somewhere on his depth chart this year, and he'll have another guy go for 1,400 yards this year. So. I'm gonna put us down for a loss. Unfortunately, that's back-to-back weeks, but
I'm gonna say the same thing. Loss. We could beat them. We can beat anybody, I think, especially if Jalen progresses. But I think we'll lose, and it's just because I don't think Jalen can keep pace with Aaron Rodgers.
No.
Maybe our defense is that good. I do not think that they're just going to find another Devontae Adams. I think he's special. He was a first-round pick too.
He's a stud. I'm not saying they're going to find, some guy who's going to be a 5-year Pro Bowler in a row. But I think they'll find another guy. He's going to find his guy.
I think they'll find production.
Yeah, he's going to find production somewhere.
Yeah. Rodgers is great. I'll give them the win. If we're in any kind of a shootout, I'd love to see us be able to win that type of game, but it's kind of like what I said against Dallas. Like, we haven't proven that we can beat Dallas. So if I'm doing schedule predictions, that's my thing. I'm thinking, all right, well, we haven't shown any kind of promise versus Dallas.
Right.
I'll say we're going to lose. We haven't shown that we can go into a shootout, keep pace with.
Yeah.
So, and not many teams can hold Rodgers down to 10 or 17 or 20 points a game. So you would think they're going to score points. I'll say loss. So that now I've kind of, balanced the scales a little bit. We're 7-4 right now. Then we have the Tennessee Titans coming to town. I know Derrick Henry had some injury stuff last year. They lost Julio Jones, I believe. They lost AJ Brown. Who did AJ Brown go to, Ryan?
I can't remember. Oh, the Eagles. We actually have a receiver that we can pair with Devontae.
Yeah, so Titans are well coached. They're very tough. They kind of remind me of the Steelers.
Yeah.
Mentality. What do you have? Win or
I was down for a win there just because, all they have is Derrick Henry. Who did they draft?
Treylon Burks.
Treylon Burks, yeah, who I wasn't a big fan on, but they drafted him immediately. They were like, oh, they got their AJ Brown replacement. I'm like, that easy, huh? That's how it works. You just draft a guy and that's the next guy. But speaking from experience, that's not how receivers work, as we know. But I'll put us down for a win. I don't think they have enough for us. Derrick Henry's pretty much all they have. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll have, some other talented guys, but that put up numbers. But I think that's a W for us.
I do too. I think we'll beat them. One thing I'll say is Titans have a very talented defense.
Yeah.
And I just kind of get this thought of like Jalen Hurts looking how he looked versus Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And granted, you say, well, now we've got AJ Brown.
Right.
Yeah. But last week we talked about, is Hurts the future? And one of the things we talked about is if we were trying to beat the Philadelphia Eagles, or if I was trying to beat the Baltimore Ravens, or Kyler's probably the best passer of the three.
Yeah.
But even Kyler, I would load the box. I would take away the read option. I would take away Jalen Hurts' ability to run the ball. And if he rolls out of the pocket, I'd have a spy on him. So he's just doesn't have the ability to just roam around. And I think talented defenses can do that. So I get that kind of, I think we'll beat them, but I got this slight thought in the back of my head, like if they play us right, they have very good defense, and I could see us really struggling on offense. And by the way, we got all this talented offense. We got an offensive line, wide receivers, tight end. I like our running backs. But if the point guard can't distribute,
right,
AJ Brown can't do anything unless he gets the ball in his hands on time.
Right.
So I'll say we'll win, but they're a tough defense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Week 14, we are at the New York Giants.
These are the games that I worry about, like being in New York. Not worried about New York necessarily because I don't think they're very good, but just us beating ourselves, doing stupid stuff, coming out and we could run for 1,000 yards in 3 games, and then we'll come out and pass the ball 55 times and for no reason. So I'm gonna keep rolling. I think we'll be okay. But this is a game that would worry me, not because we're not as talented, but just because we do dumb stuff and change game plans and just don't stick with what we're good at. But I'll put us down for a win. Hopefully have confidence in them as they'll just continue to do what we're doing.
Yeah, I could see this being a hiccup. And, every year, right? How many seasons have we watched football, every year there are frustrating hiccups.
Yep.
Every single year. A couple years ago when we were really sucking, Jalen Hurts' first start, they put Jalen in, they took Carson out. Jalen came in versus the Packers at the end of the game, but then the next week, his first start played the Saints. And the Saints were like the best team in the league, and we beat them.
Yeah.
So things can happen. I think we'll beat the Giants. I think the Giants got worse this offseason. They let go of Bradbury. I don't like their quarterback. Saquon Barkley.
You just can't stay healthy.
Number 2 overall pick. Extremely talented. He was before injuries and stuff. Hasn't been able to stay healthy. Probably won't be on the field. So I'll say W. And this is, I think here too, this is the type of game where if you're really growing as an organization, at some point when they grow, they're going to start winning these games. Yeah. They're not going to overlook the Giants. They understand. Hurts had 3 interceptions against the Giants last year in one game.
Yeah, something like that.
So you've got to come in, you've got to play well, you've got to execute.
Yeah.
And I think they'll win week 14. All right, week 15 at Chicago. Justin Fields.
Yeah. Wish I had their depth chart up because I'd like to see kind of.
They lost Allen Robinson, went to the Rams.
Yeah. Because the Rams needed more. The Rams weren't good enough. They needed more talent.
Yes.
I love Justin Fields. I think he's a superstar player, but I don't think they'll have enough. This is another game that kind of scared me going to Chicago. But I think all they have is Justin Fields, just scrambling and trying to make plays, and he's not going to. I don't think he'll be able to make enough, big plays to beat us. So I think I might have put this down as a loss before when I kind of reviewed the schedule, but I'll put us down for a W. I don't think they'll have enough. Justin Fields will have to play lights out, I think, to beat us.
Yeah, I'm going to say W. I don't think the Bears are good. I don't think the Bears are a good organization. I think it's a terrible place for Justin Fields to get drafted. And that's all I'll say about the Bears. They also lost Khalil Mack. Mack went to the Raiders.
Yeah.
The Raiders? No, he went to the Chargers.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. I remember the rumors.
He was a Raider. Then he went to the Bears. Now, this season, he went to another team. I'm going to look it up real quick. I'm pretty sure my second guess was right. It wasn't the Raiders.
Remember the Raiders being in rumors of him going to the Raiders, which I thought, was kind of funny. But
Khalil Mack plays for the Chargers now.
Yeah.
So Justin Herbert. They're going to be good.
Yeah. That's going to be a scary combo.
Their defense is freaking crazy.
We don't play the Chargers.
No.
Right,
well, lucky for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now they got Joey Bosa. Freaking. Who's the safety I loved? Darwin James.
Yeah.
They've got a good corner. They're very good. Okay. I say we beat them. The most interesting thing I'll say about this is when you and I were watching the draft, when we drafted Devontae Smith, the Eagles moved back, then they moved back up to get Devontae. When they moved up, this is after Hurts played 4 games. I thought we were going to get Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Because moving up into the top 10, I thought it'd be a quarterback. And I wanted Justin Fields. I'm an Ohio State fan, but not only that, Justin Fields can play.
Yeah.
He's a 5-star guy, high pedigree. He's used to being in the spotlight. He's 6'3", 220. He ran a 4.3 40. He throws the ball in college. He threw the ball better than Jalen Hurts.
Oh yeah.
Threw it to more areas of the field. He's more talented.
Yeah.
So I wanted Justin Fields, and Devontae Smith is a tremendous talent. Very happy with him, but who knows what this team would look like with Justin Fields.
Right.
Like with Jalen, we've got all these pieces, but we're questioning our quarterback.
Yeah.
And still Fields, he's talented, but he has to learn how to execute. Carson Wentz is talented, but he hasn't been able to execute as well as he once did. But if you had Justin Fields, you're not really questioning talent, arm strength, ability to throw the ball. Like, he's got everything. So I am a big fan of Fields. I just think he's in a terrible organization.
Yeah.
Is their head coach? Did they still have the same head coach?
I don't believe so. I think it was Nagy, who's everything about him was just awful. Everything you hear about him was awful. All of his decisions.
Yeah, it's new coach, Matt Eberfluss.
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to say I'm 99% sure Nagy's not there, but
well, that's good. I mean, yeah. It would be bad in my opinion. So Chicago's a team. If this coach is a variable, this coach does a good job with Fields, helps him, supports him. By week 15, they could have traction. They could be competing for a wild card. Who knows how? They've got a good quarterback. So I think we'll win. Week 16, the Eagles are at the Cowboys.
Yeah, that one I have as a loss, just because it is the Cowboys. I still don't think, and I could be wrong, but defensively, I don't think the Cowboys are going to be up to par with a lot of teams. We know they're going to be able to move the ball, but obviously losing Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb's going to have to be that number one. But I think Gallup being there is he's a legit number two. So I think I don't think they're going to take much back. They're not going to take much of a step back, I don't think, in the passing game. But yeah, I have us down for a loss there just because it is the Cowboys. Every divisional game's tough, and we haven't had good luck against them. And it's in Dallas. End of the year, probably going to be, a lot of deciding factors on playoff spots and things like that going on. So I'll put us down for a loss there. Just split with the Cowboys.
I could certainly see us losing. I'm going to say we're going to win. And I wrote down an L and then I changed it just to spite you. No, just because honestly, what changed my mind, I had it down for a loss. I was like, yeah, we're going to get swept by the Cowboys until we prove otherwise. But you said, week 16, there might be playoff implications. Well, I think that hurts the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I just see them suck
they can't
in the big moments.
Yeah.
And at the end of the year, I think they got big organizational problems. So when you said that it had playoff implications, like I could see Hurts. I could see the Eagles elevating and the Cowboys not getting it done. Right. So, and everybody who knows, if you've ever watched like schedule prediction, then you know that this is gospel. Like, this is what's going to happen, guys.
Yeah, 100%.
So we're going to come out, we're going to win, loss, win, loss, bye, win, loss, win. And then let's go win. And then the playoffs will start. Win.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, week 17, the Saints are at the Eagles. The Saints were out there with this draft.
Yeah.
do a whole show on how idiotic I think they were.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I used to think, I mean, they used to scare me even without Breeze, like just because they're a good organization. But I think they're kind of out of that realm now. Jameis Winston doesn't scare me. Not too much. But I think they're still a talented team. I think they're going to have some pieces that are going to make us. It's going to be a tough game, but I think we'll all get the. So I was down for a win.
Okay. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to put us down for a win. I think the Saints. I don't think they're going to be good.
No, I don't.
They lost Sean Payton. They
Yeah.
lost Drew Brees. Jameis Winston, I think, he was 5-0 with Sean Payton and was playing pretty well. And he's very, very, very talented. He's very talented. But I think if Sean Payton was there, it'd be a different, thought process for me, because I think a guy like Sean Payton might be able to get the most out of Winston.
Yeah.
He can get the most out of Winston. If he can cut down the turnovers, I think that could be, pretty crazy. Like, when Winston was playing with Arians in Tampa Bay, Arians is like a good coach, and he's very aggressive down the field. So when Winston, whatever he did, he threw 50 touchdowns and 30 picks or 40 picks.
Yeah.
Well, that's in a very aggressive down the field offense. Even Tom Brady talked about how it was a big change for him to be so aggressive
Right.
on the field. But Peyton's not there. So I don't think Winston will play at the level he could with if he had Peyton. I'll say we win. And then our last game, New York Giants come to Philly. Now, these things cannot matter, because if we're right now, I have the team at 11-4.
Right.
No, that's not right. It must be 12-4 right now. No, that's right. Okay. Yeah, I have the team at 11-4. But we might not, depending on how the year goes, we might not be playing starters week 18. We might not play starters week 17. You never know. But especially week 18 versus the Giants, if they're god awful, if the Cowboys are far enough behind us, if we've locked something up by then, I guess we have to predict it as if we were going to play straight up, right?
Yeah, if we're predicting straight up, I'm taking a win, obviously. But I think we will be in a scenario where it's going to be a game that doesn't matter. So if we did play, as if we were playing starters, it's a win. But I think we'll be at the point where we're going to be, not playing starters, and I think, I still think it'll be a closer game. Probably Gardner Minshew in and stuff like that. But I'll put us down for an L just based off of we're probably not going to play anybody. But if we were playing starters, that's a W. But I don't know, man. I don't think Dallas is going to be as good as everyone thinks. It's every year everyone comes out and says Dallas is, this stud team. And on paper, yeah, but they don't ever seem to be able to put it together. If they do in the regular season, they don't in the playoffs. It's just, I don't know. I think they're going to be a decent team, but I don't think they're going to be this 12-win team. I think they're going to be similar to what we were last year. Get maybe 10 wins and get a wild card, or 9 wins, get a wild card. But yeah, I don't think we'll be at the point where we're worried about the Giants, and I think we'll probably just be playing backups and just, playing for health.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there. I just predicted it as if without, all the playoff implications. But if we were just playing them straight up,
Yeah.
I think we'll win. So I finished with a 12-4 record. What did you have, Ryan?
Well, you should have one more. It's a 17.
There's a bye.
Yeah, but 17 game season now.
Let me check.
Regular season is 17 games.
Oh, yeah. So I think I have 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I have 13-4.
Okay. And I came at 12-5, but I also went opposite. So if we're the same, if I go, we played starters in week 18. If we play it straight up like that, it's a W. So I'm same 13-4 if we play starters. Hopefully I'm right and we're not playing starters at that point. But yeah, I think I think that's pretty good, man. I think it's an easy schedule. Try not to be biased. There's a few obviously that we could have hiccups and not play our role or play to our strengths and maybe drop a win here and there or drop a loss. But yeah, I think it's pretty good, man. I don't think we're gonna have a lot of trouble with our schedule.
Man, 13-4 would be an absolutely phenomenal year. It'd be very exciting to watch. So I'll say this: we've went through each game by game. We've made our picks. I ended up with 13-4. But as I step back and look at it all, I don't know which games, because there's always gonna be variables, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if we were more like 11-6.
Yeah.
12-5.
Yeah.
Maybe even 11-6. And I think that's still really good. I think that's more of who we are right now. I think we're probably more of an 11-6 team.
Yeah.
13-4, because it's not just talent, and I hope that we are a 13-4 team, but there's a lot that goes into a season like that.
Yeah.
You remember when the Colts used to win like that just every single year, like 14-2, 13-3, 12-4, like every year. Like a bad year for them was 11-5.
Right.
I don't think that we're really on that level yet. Or if we are, I need to see it first. I need to see Hurts progress. I need to see him execute as a passer.
Right.
Got to see it. So I'll stick with the 13 wins. But like I said, I really wouldn't be surprised. I don't know which game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's more like 11-6. Any final thoughts, Ryan?
No, I think if I had to pick one, maybe it's, one of the Washington games, I think I have them sweeping Washington, probably early on, maybe Wentz comes out and plays well that first week. I think it's in Philly the first time we play them, something like that. But I could also go against, like Green Bay. I could see us, getting a win in Green Bay. Or I think it's actually in Philly. So there's a lot of variables that go into it, but I really think it's an easy schedule. I don't know where we rank as far as, schedule strength with the rest of the league. But when I looked at our schedule, I was like, man,
it's weak. I think we have one of the weakest. I don't know if we have the weakest, but we have one of the weakest schedules on paper.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. So I think, 2-3 years ago, it'd be different. We're looking at the Packers with, all their weapons. We're looking at the Colts with Phillip Rivers. We're looking at the Saints with Drew Brees. So, you look a few years back, it's a tough schedule, but now it's, teams are kind of in that scramble rebuild mode. And hopefully we're on the up and up. But no, I think it's going to be a successful year, man. We stay healthy and, don't beat ourselves. We should have a pretty solid year.
Which division, the AFC, with the Titans, Colts, Texans, and Jags?
Is it West?
No, the AFC West is like Chargers, Chiefs. Is it the South? I think it's the South.
Well, yeah, I guess that would make sense. The South would make sense. I don't know. I've never been good at that stuff. Like when they're like, "Oh, what division is?" I'm like, "Oh man, I don't know."
It's
As
all
much
right,
football,
Ron. You're a good person.
yeah, I know. I don't know, but like I remember like stupid stuff like from like playing NCAA football. Like I remember hearing like a fight song from one of the million schools, and I could tell you the mascot and like what school it was. It's like, oh, that's Appalachian State, like, or that's like just some crazy community college that happens to have a football team, but I can't remember divisions. But I don't know. I need to work on myself. But
Yeah. It's the AFC South. So you know how you draw, like you play the same division.
yeah,
Imagine like we're playing the AFC South.
yeah,
Jags, Texans. In a 17-game schedule, there's 2 wins.
yeah,
We're in the weakest division in one of the weakest divisions in football. 8 of our games come from that.
yeah.
No, 6 of our games. I need to work on myself too. And then the NFC North, no, the NFC, the Packers, the Vikings,
Yeah,
the Bears, the Lions. So yeah, 13-4. But I say this, man, I just know it's really hard to get traction early on, and I wouldn't be like shocked if we struggled against the Lions.
yeah,
And if we lose to the Lions, I will say right now that it's on the coaches. Now, obviously, it depends on how the players play, but because if we lose to the Lions, I could just, number one, if we lose to the Lions, our whole schedule could change.
yeah,
I mean, I hope we would respond well and like buckle down and win. I think we would. But if we lose to a team like the Lions, it's not talent. It's they came out, they know who they are. They're very convicted about who they are. They're physical. They come out running the ball. They try to play good defense.
yeah,
We have talent. We can run the ball with the best of them. We can be physical with the best of them. But this is one of the flaws of like the greatest show on turf, where like these high prolific passing offenses, they lose their edge, bro. It's like the guy who grows up, you're driven, you're an underdog. Well, then you make some money. Then you get a nice house. Then you got a good job and things get cushy. Like you lose your edge.
yeah,
A lot of us have probably experienced that. Sometimes you get comfortable. And if we're trying to be this finesse offense, it's really, really, really hard to do both.
yeah,
So if we come out with this mindset of we're going to be this passing, prolific offense, man, I think we're going to get punched in the mouth and we lose to the Lions.
yeah,
If we come out running the ball, pounding the ball, getting Hurts, Dickerson, Kelsey, Sayamalu, Johnson, Goddard, we get those guys going. I hope to God that the coaches are smart enough to do that. Like recognize, I know what you want Jalen to be, but recognize what he is.
right.
And help him to grow slow, like short passes, run the ball. It's a long season.
Yeah.
Lots of time to progress. So that's it for me, man. Any final thoughts?
No, I think we kind of covered everything, man. I think it's gonna be a good year. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's gonna be our year, but I do think we have a really easy schedule and there's nothing holding us back except for us. So we'll see.
We have a shot. I hope that Hurts can progress. That's the biggest variable for me.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about the Bradbury addition. We'll do another talk on that, Bradbury and the defense. But okay, guys. Well, this has been the 3rd episode. We appreciate you guys watching. We encourage any feedback in the comments. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. And we'll see you next week with episode 4. Have a good day.